Valdez in goal. Puyol, who was missed the majority of the last season, was injured. Busquets, as we've seen, was tremendous in the Euros, as Iniesta. And again, Sanchez will be the lone striker with people like Messi just behind him. So there's a lot of talent out there, a lot of capability, but some young players as well, which is quite refreshing.
For Manchester United, who finished second in the Premiership to Manchester City, here's Alex Ferguson's starting 11.
Yeah, and the big one is obviously Village. He had a run out a few days ago, felt good, but now with his partner, Rio Ferdinand, Patrice Evra will look to push forward. Scholes, who we all remember coming out of retirement, was sensational towards the end of the season. And again, 10 and Welbeck will be pulling the strings up front with Wayne Rooney.
We take a look at the starting 11s as the teams are in the tunnel right now, and not quite a full representation of the starting 11 that you would forecast when things really matter. But they're at about 75–80% full strength right now in your eyes?
Yeah, and I think both coaches will be looking at that. They'll be saying that this is a good test. I mean, it doesn't come any bigger when you talk about Barcelona and Manchester United. So for the young players, one or two of them just to experience. But the backbone, the mainstays, you know, goalkeeper, look at the centre-backs, midfield, strikers, predominantly going to fixture this season for the teams.
When you watch these two teams through preseason, knowing that they have trophies always on their mind, but trying to reclaim trophies more importantly, what are some of the things each club needs to work on that you're going to be watching for today?
Well, I think it's come out of Manchester United, particularly in the group stage with the Champions League. Village has said it. They took their foot off the gas, expecting to be there. I think now they've shown, and both of these, that they can be beaten. They can get knocked out of tournaments. They can come second best. And these clubs in recent years are not used to that. They're used to winning. They're used to being at the top. They're used to being successful. So I think from that point of view, it's having that desire, that hunger to keep on being champions. And that's what they've had. This is the first time they've had to take it on the chin, but there's enough experience and there's enough new players coming into the team to go forward and be very successful, not only domestically, but also in the Champions League.
Very interesting to see how they are approaching their actions this preseason. Manchester City, Real Madrid, the teams to beat, ideally, for these two clubs as they get set for their campaigns to open up. La Liga and the Premiership right around the corner. Of course, Premiership right here live on Fox Soccer and Fox Soccer Plus all season long. Wayne Rooney in the starting 11. Valencia playing an outside fullback today, as he did in their last preseason warm-up. Big addition back for Barcelona. Puyol back from that injury, and Vidic back. Speaking of center backs back from injury, Vidic back from Manchester United. We talked that both of these teams have done slight moves in the transaction department so far, but getting Vidic, getting Puyol back, that's equal to a big-time signing for these clubs.
And particularly where they play as well, being at the back, being at the heart, and being captains as well. So again, Village was a huge loss, I think, for Manchester United, psychologically, but also on the field. I think it gives them that leadership quality that they miss towards the end of the campaign. Puyol is a great competitor. We talk about Barcelona, their style of football, but also he's a player that puts his foot in, very determined, very strong, very robust. So they've got the capability, so having them players, and as you rightly said, Rob, they have been subtle. There's been one or two additions, but I do expect both of these clubs to make at least one. Van Persie probably will be our list for Manchester United, and obviously with Barcelona. But don't forget, you know, Barcelona have got David Villa, that's been out a long time, not involved at the moment, but he's like having a new player as well.
Villa with the team unavailable for the friendly today versus Manchester United. And Barcelona, not exactly an easy preseason as far as the games they scheduled, and their new manager, Tito Vilanova, he wants that. He says, I want to test my guys during the preseason. They did that over the weekend in the French capitals. They took on PSG, a team that has not been afraid to spend the money this offseason, and one of their newest signings was impactful here. But first, in the 7th minute, PSG giving up the game's first goal. Sergio Roberto finding the back of the net. 53rd minute, penalty kick. Guess who? Messi. 2-0 Barcelona. 59th minute, though, PSG, Lavezzi fouled in the box. There he is, the big money man. Ibrahimovic takes the penalty. 1-goal game in the 60th minute. 82nd minute, Zoumara Kamara, strong header. Game ended in regulation, tied at 2. Went to penalty kicks, and PK with the winner. And we are set now for kickoff. Manchester United set to square off with Barcelona. Beautiful conditions, and we are underway. Rob Stone, Warren Barton here with the call for you. This is a rematch of not only the 2009, but also the 2011 Champions League final. Both of them won by Barcelona.
Yeah, I'm just refreshing on that, Rob. I think they do. Barcelona do have this, if any club in the world over Manchester United, this phobia, the psychological problem that United have had. They found it very difficult to play against them, as most teams do, but you expect that United be more defensive when they've ever come against Barcelona, which is not Sir Alex's way in Manchester United. But we look in midfield with Anderson and Scholes. They'll be looking to get close to Busquets and Iniesta, if possible.
Looking down the left side is Barcelona. Sanchez laying that one off. First-time effort, and no problems there for David De Gea. De Gea, slow start to the Premiership campaign. A lot was put on him, but second half, really after the new year, he really started to earn his paycheck and became really one of the top keepers in the Premier League.
Well, I was one of his biggest critics when it happened. The goals that he was conceding, he doesn't seem to have that physical presence. Yes, he's young, but when you go to Manchester United, you have to handle that. But he ended up with 13 clean sheets, so that again gives him credit. Lindegaard is another goalkeeper that we're pushing him this season, but as we said, with both of these goalkeepers, they don't really come under a lot of work. But when you're called upon, it's concentration, and that's what both of these have maybe lacked in the past. But De Gea, no doubt, with his capabilities and his experience that he had last season, will grow and get better, but he's still got to convince me.
In Barcelona trying to probe down that left side. Mascherano switching things up. Dani Alves able to keep that one alive.
I think also what you talk about with Barcelona, the way they not only move the ball, obviously, in the movement, but they transfer the ball quickly. If you can go from left to right quickly, a diagonal ball. And Sir Alex Ferguson will know that. He's come across these, and again, he's very determined, very focused this season because, again, we're talking about it, he doesn't like coming second best.
Talked about Sir Alex Ferguson. He missed Sunday's preseason game in Oslo, Norway, tending to, quote, club business. Read into that what you will. And I think there's still some business to be had for Manchester United. They were dealt a blow just moments ago when the Brazilian forward Lucas Moura, it was announced by his club site, Sao Paulo in Brazil, that he was going to PSG, not Manchester United, which says to you, at least, there's some more cash and an increased importance to perhaps get Robin van Persie from Arsenal.
But just looked at successful teams when they have been successful, and United are, even though what happened last season, they always build and strengthen. There's always been a big player, whether it's in the past, it's been Rio Ferdinand, we looked at Valencia, we looked at Ashley Young, and obviously Wayne Rooney. So he likes going big, and he likes making a statement. And there's no better time when you've had that huge disappointment to bring in such a big player. But I'm looking at Barcelona as well. They'll be looking to strengthen. People say where. I think centre-back could be an area where they could strengthen.
Messi, double teamed and loses that one. Scholes, the man that finally took it away from him. Alves. Barcelona with the better possession through the opening almost 4 minutes. Busquets getting it wide. Iniesta continues it. Alves sneaking up forward. Messi. Iniesta. Rio Ferdinand. Rather, Vidic plays that one up. Valencia, you like him at right fullback?
He has played there before, we've seen that. And I think what you maybe miss with him going forward with his pace, he's got good cover and he's a very honest player. Wearing a number 7 shirt, which is obviously a great tradition with the likes of Brian Robson, Cantona, Beckham, Ronaldo, to say but a few. So a lot of responsibilities, but he can play there, particularly at home.
Messi! And just off target, De Gea coming off his line.
There's that presence I'm talking about for De Gea as a goalkeeper. In the past, someone like Schmeichel, great movement again, great awareness, but your goalkeeper's got to come out and claim it. And I think that's where he misses that presence, that physical stature. Look at Iniesta again. Messi, that great movement. It's just that final touch. But you're looking for your goalkeeper to come out and take the ball. But no, Again, he's second best and very fortunate in a way that it doesn't just drift in the net. Them two have a great understanding. I mean, we talk about the coach and the shadow that he's had to come into, obviously, but he knows the club, he understands the philosophy, and they respect him. What he's been able to do is say, you know what you're doing, players, go out there and do it, and I'll fine-tune it if I need to, but you've got the capability of Xavi when he's around, Iniesta, Messi. That doesn't need to change too much.
First season in charge for Tito Vilanova. Pep Guardiola chose to step down after guiding Barcelona to 14 trophies in 4 seasons. Tito, his top assistant through the years.
It's not a bad first job to have, is it?
Not at all. It shows you the comfort level they have with the coaching staff there. Rooney gets that one out wide. Ashley Young chipping it far post, nobody there.
I think sometimes that's the problem with Ashley Young. Predominantly right-footed. When he does get it, he's always going to check back. As a fullback, you know that. But again, good counter-attacking, good football by Rooney. But again, look at the white shirts, just one in there, being Welbeck, and I think that's what they need to have, a little bit more belief from midfield. But I'd like to see Ashley Young just take Dani Alves on the outside. We know he's quick, we know he's strong, but so is Ashley Young.
Sanchez trying to turn it. Iniesta wins it back. Dos Santos. Alves. Not sure if that was having to go or the cross slightly got away from him.
Well, Alves as he is, he's not too scared to have that attempt. But again, the way they shift the ball from left to right, you come over as a unit, and it gives Alves some time. And as outrageous it may seem, he's quite capable of doing that, Dani Alves. One of the best assists for particularly someone like Messi.
2 goals, 11 assists in 33 La Liga games last season for the Brazilian international. Brazil set to take on Mexico in the Olympic gold medal match in a couple days. This is the 5th preseason match for Manchester United. They started their tour in Durban, South Africa. 1-0 victory over Amazulu.
Again, going back to that, Rob, watching the games and seeing them, and they've done well. They've done, you know, the capabilities, and the fitness is important, and the tempo, and the manner of the game, as they like to attack.
Only 3 goals in 4 preseason matches thus far for Manchester United. Not a huge concern yet, but it may become that. Welbeck loses it.
We're just reiterating that. It's been very conservative. It's not been you'd want them to make a statement. They've got to wake up, everybody in the EPL, and say, look, we're back in business. We know we're a strong team.
Offside flag comes up late. Makeda, Bebe, and the Japanese international, Kagawa, the 3 to score goals for Manchester United thus far this preseason. Their last match over the weekend shut out in Oslo, Norway. 0-0 draw with Vålerenga. And up next for them, August 11th in Germany to take on Hanover. And then it is focus time for the Premiership, and they start the campaign on the road at Everton.
We were saying as well with Manchester, first time for the Community Shield. They haven't been involved since I think about 06, 07. So they'll be watching, and they'll be a bit frustrated that they normally have the season opener at Wembley to show off and flex their muscles, but I suppose the bigger prize for them is the domestic trophy.
Ashley Young with the foul. Patrice Evra rejoined the team just a few days ago after his wife gave birth to their 2nd child. He missed their last warm-up in Norway. Sergio Roberto, younger brother of Thiago, who's leaning towards representing Brazil at the international level. His brother represents Spain. Interesting household during the holidays.
If there's two countries you're going to represent, they're not bad.
Ashley Young trying to squeeze one through to Welbeck, and Victor Valdez off his line. If there was a weak link in the late stages of Barcelona, particularly in Champions League play, it was Valdez.
Yes, for me. As I said, going back as a goalkeeper for Manchester United and Barcelona, you don't really get tested every minute of the game. So concentration is one, and I think what Victor Valdez is, he's not very commanding, a bit very similar to De Gea. Yeah, good with the feet, they can come out, they can make a shot save, but it's that vital save, that key save that he's not been able to do in his career. But the stats, you look at him, 17 clean sheets, and he's gone the longest. 896 minutes without conceding a goal. So people can say, well, his stats are saying that he is a good goalkeeper, but I speak to strikers around the world and people, it doesn't give you that fear, it doesn't give you that problem in front of goal. I think you feel quite comfortable in a one-on-one situation. But, as we've said, you don't often need him, particularly at home in the early stages of the Champions League. But there's no doubt that is an area that they could maybe strengthen with.
Jose Manuel Pinto, his backup. United with possession. Their first trophyless season since 04-05 last campaign. And we talked about subtle moves. Nick Powell, a big gamble on the youngster, bringing him in, and Shinji Kagawa, who we may see in the second half. A chance here for Barcelona to get on the board, and powerful shot just off target.
For me now, Rob, at the moment, Manchester United, they're squeezing as a unit on one side, but they're leaving so much space on the wide areas. Nani's not going to track back. It's a decent effort if he takes it earlier, but Barcelona suck you into an area, and then they move it quickly, transfer the ball. He's far, should do better. Got to go across the goalkeeper. His first touch wasn't good for the young player.
There's Sir Alex Ferguson. Christian Tello with the opportunity there. That was wide of De Gea. Welbeck gets it back out wide. Scholes. Anderson getting it. And out wide. Rooney, the header off target.
Yeah, big chance. Not much pace on the ball, more of a floated in there, but I think for Wayne Rooney, good to see Valencia. We said about that area where he can get forward, where he can get some delivery, even as a fullback. But I think if he really attacks it with a bit more conviction, as I said, the ball's really just floated up there, so he's got to try and generate his own power. There's still enough quality in Wayne Rooney to really put that on target. Come, I think November, December, you'd expect him to put that away.
76 minutes for the 26-year-old in their last preseason matchup for Rooney. Messi gets it back and then loses it. Scholes will go all the way back.
Just in the last 5 minutes, Manchester United have done that. They've really pressurised Barcelona, trying to squeeze them, trying to retain the ball. But what they've had a problem, Manchester United, when they do retain the ball, is actually keeping it, because Barcelona are one of the best in the world of closing you down. As good as Barcelona are at squeezing you, they're great at keeping the ball. They just keep the ball, keep it moving. So when you do retain it against them, you've got to be confident enough to have the ball, keep it moving, move them around how they do with you, which is easier said than done.
Long ball. Rooney almost able to pull that one down, pleading for a handball, no call.
Well, I think he does great, Mascherano, in the back there. He's really predominantly been known as the Argentinian holding midfield player. He gives that calmness at the back.
Mascherano, 97 appearances in all comps since joining Barcelona from Liverpool in August of 2010. As he mentioned, last season in La Liga play starts at center of the defense and in the midfield as well. Nice to have players who can play multiple positions, multiple roles for you.
And we said that about Liverpool. They've lost Alonso at Real Madrid on Sunday. We're talking about him, Mascherano. When you lose them type of quality players to teams that are going to go and win, not only domestically, but obviously Champions League. It's very hard for a club like Liverpool to sustain that, but great players that they've had. Liverpool's loss is obviously Real Madrid and Barcelona's gain.
Alves volleys it. Messi, pestered by Anderson. Slight contact, enough to earn the foul.
Well, that's what Anderson's like. He's trying to chomp at his ankles there. He's just got to give him the respect. You can't. He's going to have the ball. He's going to move around. The time he pulls his shirt, it's a cheap free kick to give away, particularly in this type of area. But there's the handball that we're talking about. And Mascherano, it's a tough call for the referee. So I'm looking at this, Rob. You're saying the referee, it's obviously Barcelona want to take it quick. Why do you have to wait till the whistle? I know you have to ask the referee, is it okay? But if you see an opportunity as a player, you haven't always got to go around and say, ref, can we just wait by your time? Do we have to see this? You can say to the referee, just let me play. Just let me go, and then you have to have the advantage as the team with the ball. Rules are rules.
Three-time World Player of the Year, Lionel Messi, soon perhaps to be four-time World Player of the Year, settling over this free kick in the 17th. Off the wall. An out-of-camera shot. Iniesta trying to win it back, and he does, and a whistle.
I think obviously with the crowd as well, you look at the crowd, and it's probably, when Barcelona play anybody, there's probably 80% of their fan base here. There's Puyol, is what he does best, very strong. Just arches his back there, free kick on Patrice Evra. But normally when you go to a stadium, it's predominantly Barcelona fans. Or if United go, it's predominantly United fans. But what you hear now is two clubs at 50-50. They're trying to generate the whole world of supporting their clubs, having their shirts. It just shows you the power of these two, the money that they generate.
Messi, double teamed and loses it. Anderson with the key defensive effort there. Foul right in front of the official. Easy call there.
A little bit zealous, a little bit over exuberant, trying to win the ball.
Scholes. Evra. Beckham-esque long ball down the right side. Driven shot just off target.
Well, that's good. That's that diagonal ball that we're talking about, and one of the best in the business. Paul Scholes has been doing it for well over a decade. I think Paul Scholes will say that's my type of ball. Now, don't worry about Beckham. I've been doing that for years. But this is better by Nani. Again, very positive. We've seen him sometimes just dwell on the ball too long. But he's quite comfortable, left foot, right foot. But Paul Scholes coming out of retirement. 4 goals he got last season, and nearly made a dream by winning the league again. But a tremendous player, one of the best I've ever played against.
4 goals in 17 Premiership games after coming out of retirement in January of 2012. Then there was talk that perhaps he should be representing his national team as well. Not just starting for Manchester United, but then moving on back to the national team camp. Tells you so much about the quality of that player.
Well, also Mancini said it was desperate, wasn't it, to bring him back. And unfortunately for England, he didn't actually get a call, which would have been superb, because he can keep the ball.
Rooney. Sliding tackle. Beautifully won by Mascherano. Iniesta forced back.
They do it so well. I mean, Barcelona, the way they just pass the ball simple. The first pass is predominantly the easiest pass. It's the way to pass as well. If he's right-footed, they put it on his right foot. All these little instruments that players do. You have a split second to do the way to pass, the length of pass, and they were able to do that so well, so comfortable with the ball. All these decisions, Rob, are going through their head in a split second, and it's the manner that they do it. Even at the highest level, when they've been put under pressure against a quality team, they still know to cushion the ball, where to play the ball.
Vidic, the one-time ball over the top, able to find Evra. And Evra around Messi, slides one through the box. Nani.
Very encouraging for Manchester United there. It was Valencia we see for Wayne Rooney's head, and now you've got Patrice Evra pushing forward.
Barcelona on the attack right now. Tello. Scholes plays it off the official. Veteran move.
We try to tackle him. But Barcelona have got a weakness. We spoke about the goalkeeper, but we know both fullbacks are very aggressive going forward, which isolates the two centre-backs today, Puyol and Mascherano. There's your opportunity, because if the fullbacks do push on, i.e. Young or Nani has to go back, but when you have the ball, that allows, whether it is Valencia or Patrice Evra to get forward, because, again, one thing with Barcelona, neither wide players want to track back. They don't want to particularly chase you. You see Messi there, reluctant to go back. So I think from Manchester United's point of view, if you work hard defensively, but when you've got it and be brave, both fullbacks, Valencia and Patrice Evra, are better going forward than they are defending.
Some rumours out there, Barcelona trying to strengthen the middle of their defence. Danish international Daniel Agger with Liverpool being mentioned. Manchester City apparently also in pursuit of him. Pretty high price tag Liverpool has placed on him. Last I read, 27 million euros. Also talk maybe Alex Song from Arsenal. A lot of maybes out there this time of the year. And for Manchester United, the big name that has been associated with them for a couple of weeks now, and if anything, it's been amplified today with the fact that Lucas Moura signing with PSG is Robin van Persie. How do you see him potentially fitting in with Manchester United should they make that move?
I think it would be a superb move. I think there's no doubt. So much responsibility was on Wayne Rooney for getting the goals, and they looked around. And I think from his point of view, last year of his contract, he wants to try and win trophies. Arsenal have made moves. They have made moves in the transfer market, but not bold enough moves for me at the moment. And I think for Arsenal's point of view, business-wise, they need to try and cash in. The longer it goes, the value will drop down. He's at a premium, he's at a high. It wasn't a great Euros for him, but everybody knows his capability. But I think he would fit very well, not only releasing a little bit of pressure for Wayne Rooney, but also him and Welbeck could play together. Hernandez that we spoke about, it looks like Berbatov might leave. So Sir Alex has always had four prominent strikers, and Van Persie would fit into that mould and their style of football. It would be a big step for him to move across, but it's one that could realistically happen.
Messi, around one, on his left, fires that one just wide.
There's that bit of movement as well. We spoke about Village being out a long time. Messi just brings him in, a reverse pass here, and then he goes past with quality. We know he's left-footed. Everybody in the world knows he's predominantly left-footed, but the biggest surprise, he didn't hit the target.
There's another missed target there. This one may go for a throw-in.
He wants a throw-in. He wants a throw-in so you can keep him in there. But again, great movement. Doesn't have to look up. Great concentration and just pulls that slightly wide. Good save though by De Gea on target.
Reaction from the bench.
Even they get excited when they see him, time and time again.
How could you not? I don't think you can get tired of seeing that in practice, in training, on film. Sanchez takes a bump.
The only time you get tired, Rob, is when the defender keeps going past you.
Vidic, the step up and the outlet. Nani, a little step over. Tries to split two defenders and tugs a jersey. Won't get away with it. Nani, 8 goals in 29 league games last season. Has he done enough since coming over from Sporting Lisbon?
I think there's more to come. I think that's what we say about him. I think we look at Ronaldo when he first came to United. There was that step over, the tricks, the flicks, which was great, there's no doubt. But then he blossomed as a player. I think Nani needs to do that now. He's got that capability. We've seen spectacular goals that he's scored. But I would like to say there is more to come. And he's still a young man. He's still young. I think he still has the opportunity. He feels like he's a regular now. So confidence is a big attribute to his game. He wants to feel that he's cared for, that he's going to be the main player. And I think now he's got to say to Alex Ferguson, I'll give you consistency over a long space of time.
He started all 5 games at Euro 2012 for Portugal. 13 goals in his international career. And there's Vidic, a big return for Manchester United and what he offers the Serbian international when he went down and that knee injury early December in Champions League play. if they had a healthy Vidic, in your eyes, would Manchester United have won the Premiership title?
I think you have to look what Company did for Manchester City, and I think there'd be a strong argument to say yes, because some of their goals that they conceded, going back to the Old Trafford against Everton to concede 4 goals, players like that, don't let that happen. I think he has a presence on there. Hindsight and possibilities and ifs and maybe. Would I have changed the end of the season, Survival Sunday? No, because it was spectacular. But I'm sure United would have not conceded as many goals. And again, looking at that, could have been the difference for them.
And not only that, you're missing your captain as well. Vidic, 8 months out with that knee injury. Returned to action on Sunday, played an hour in Oslo. His first action since December. Said wants to play a little bit longer today. And all the reports are that he should be fit for the beginning of the season to go the full 90. Here's Rooney down the left side. Not a lot of help as Alves takes it from him. Talking about Wayne Rooney and his English national team, up to 3rd in the FIFA World Rankings announced today. Scholes gets it out wide right. Nani trying to, or rather, Valencia tried to cut that one in.
Are you surprised, my friend, at 3rd?
You're surprised.
I'm shocked.
Yes. Yes, I'm surprised.
Yeah, when you look at people like countries like Argentina, Brazil, the Netherlands as well. We'll take it at the moment.
Valencia. Lofted ball over everybody's head. Evra. Anderson. Nice patch of possession here for the Red Devils. Valencia. Nani. Imagine have those two guys coming at you down that right side every game in Premiership play. Nani. Good step up Vidic. Goes out of bounds.
Yeah, I think it's very good. I think Nani's shown a little bit of confidence, some skills, so Alex Ferguson will be pleased. That's what he wants his offensive players to do in the final third, is go and express yourself. No matter who you're playing, if it is Barcelona, you've still got to have that capability to be confident in the final third, particularly when you're in that penalty area. It's difficult for a defender to put a tackle in.
Rooney trying to get that one back. Sliding denial by Busquets. Iniesta. Talked about the injury return of Vidic. Same story for Barcelona, really, when you consider that you're getting back Puyol. And more importantly, David Villa broke his leg in December, the FIFA Club World Cup. Missed the second half of the season for Barcelona. I'll ask the same question to you that I asked about Vidic. If you had a healthy Villa, is Barcelona the team that wins La Liga instead of Real Madrid?
It's another tough call as well. I think you said there with Puyol at the back, but definitely the striker. Sanchez did reasonably well. I think there's still more goals and still better times to come from him, the Chilean international. But I do believe he does give you that cutting edge. David Villa, he's a player that suits their style of football. They like, when they had the very successful time with Eto'o, he was an out-and-out figure as a striker, a lone striker with the rest around him.
Never too much on that one intended for Young.
But don't you think it would be boring if it kept on being United and Barcelona? That's why, you know, City winning it, Real Madrid, it's made them more confident in their final third. We've seen PSG, they're going to be strong in the Champions League. So I think it's healthy for the game. You know, injuries are part and parcel of the game and consistency. But a valid point, a healthy team of Barcelona and Manchester United probably would have won their own domestic trophies. But as they've done in the past, both of these, you take what you can.
Nani losing it, and here comes Barcelona. Messi in the middle of the park lays it off. Iniesta, and they get it wide right. Alves. He's really been pushing forward from that right fullback spot all day long.
Well, Dominic plays as a wide player. Dani Alves, it's very rare you see him defending. That's why he's got so many assists.
Iniesta is looking for Alves.
I think that's why Dani Alves does so great as a fullback. He's got confidence in Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets. So when he makes that run, and these younger players that have the opportunity, he's the outlet. he goes with full of confidence and full of endeavour to go forward. He's not waiting, he's not unsure, so he's confident in his run, which makes the player on the ball confident enough to play the ball. I think that's why they have that great understanding.
Scoreless through the first half hour.
I feel as well, Rob, what you feel around the stadium is that anticipation by the fans. There's a hum that's going around, just waiting for something to happen, and that's a bad tackle.
Scholes, the strong challenge. First card of the game coming here in the 31st minute.
I don't think Paul Scholes even plays a five-a-side in the United friendly. He's always going to put his foot in. One of these players, when he was away with England, you knew he was going to come in with a tackle. And there's just the touch, the anticipation. Yeah, the foot's high. It's a yellow card, no questions asked. He knows. But great credit to him to come out of retirement, to play the level and the consistency that he did. A very modest man, just gets on with his game, understands what he has to do as a player. Great role model for players, you know, how to play the game, the modern game, as well as a little bit of toughness that he has to the game.
Talk that some managering maybe in his future. Ditto with Ryan Giggs, who's not with Manchester United right now, had that run captaining his squad in the Olympics.
I mean, for Paul Scholes as well, there's only Sir Bobby Charlton and Ryan Giggs that have played more games. I think what you find with these type of players, it's not a fluke that they play so long. It's not just because they're gifted players. They work extremely hard to get to this level and to stay at that level.
Turnover and a whistle.
I think what we're getting now, a little bit of, as I said, pride. You know, Young's not going to let Dani Alves have his way. Pulling the shirt there. But you know, with Alves, he will give you a chance as a player, but I think what he does to any wide player, said, how good are you defensively? I'm going to keep going forward. I'm going to put you under pressure. Ashley Young will know that. He'll know he'll have to work with him.
Sanchez gets it to Messi, or rather Roberto. Here's Messi. Can he get it back? He does. Oh, sublime touch. One-time effort deflected by Rio Ferdinand. And a corner coming up for Barcelona.
There's no doubt with Messi involved. Just watch here the movement and the understanding of the players. You know, people go to ground there, a little flick there by Iniesta. So you've got to put it a little bit further back, maybe just behind the 6-yard box. But I think there's that pre-season rustiness when you get into that final third, that little bit of explosive pass ball that you need. Both teams have lacked a little bit.
Mascherano. Roberto. Alves. Closed down by Young. Loses him. Scholes is there. Can't maintain it. Sanchez. Iniesta saying, now it's our time and our turn to wrestle the titles away from Real Madrid. Big focus for both of these clubs, getting back to the top. And Champions League play and their league.
And there's no doubt that's why Anderson and Scholes are in that middle area, because they have to get tight. They work well together. So when Messi does get it, they're both snapping at his heels from front and back.
Backdoor cut from Iniesta. Messi stoned by De Gea. But the offside flag may have been up late. Yes, it was.
De Gea didn't know too much about it. Again, with a timely pass and correct decision, again by the assistant. All been played in, but De Gea didn't know too much about it. But I think from Barcelona's point of view, I think you've looked at Sir Alex Ferguson being at Manchester United for so long. From their point of view, Barcelona, when the coach left, Guardiola left, it was a sensible return to have the coach staying there. Because if you do bring another big name, and it had to be a big name to go into Barcelona, they might start changing the philosophy, because you see these young players coming in there, even when they're 11, 12, 13, they all play the Barcelona way, which is encouraging. Now, if a new coach comes in, and changes the whole dimension of philosophy of the club, you're going to get a problem internal. You need to have that understanding, and that's why they've been so successful. These young players coming through, the conveyor belt that they have. So when they do go into the first team, they know exactly how they're going to play and have that mentality and not be fazed by the situation.
It's also why there's not a whole lot of worry about the coaching change as well. I mean, Pep Guardiola, amazing talent, but might as well take the guy who's been sitting right next to him for years. Continue the run.
I wouldn't worry too much when you've got Xavi, Iniesta and Messi in the team.
There is Messi, Alves, Messi, Evra back to his keeper. Over the back, delayed call there. Adriano earning the whistle. There's Iniesta. Manchester United went out of the Champions League in the group stage. Lost the Premiership title on goal differential to Manchester City. Messi. Berto. Can't find anything there. Welbeck. And no Evra out there to track that one down.
I think Messi's just getting a bit frustrated. He keeps looking at the referee, James. Are you going to keep letting Anderson keep pulling me back every time I get the ball? I think what Anderson is doing, his job is getting to Messi. They're both close. They don't want the ball to go in between. So Messi's going to get it. And you have to get a little bit wider. But look at them hunting down in packs.
Iniesta stood up in the box, blasted out by Welbeck.
I think United get the biggest problem against Barcelona is when Barcelona move the ball quickly, when they go from right to left, left to right, and bring you over as a unit, then they transfer it quickly to allow that space.
Alves can't get to that one. This is the fourth preseason match for Barcelona. 2-1 victors over Hamburg. Went to Morocco, to Tangier, took care of Raja Club Athletic. 3 goals for Messi, and then that 2-2 tie that we highlighted over the weekend in Paris with PSG. Rafinha and Messi getting the goals for Barcelona. Up next for Barcelona, they head to the Romanian capital on the 11th, take on Dinamo Bucharest. And then La Liga fires up for them Sunday, August 19th. They open up versus Real Sociedad. Also have the Super Cup looming, Leg 1 versus Real Madrid on the 23rd. There is very little downtime for the top players in the world in this game. I don't think people give them enough credit about just how short their summers really are, particularly when you involve the Olympics and the Euros this summer on top of things.
I mean, you're talking about top players now. It's an 11-month period they're playing.
Evra, the overlapping run, will earn a corner for the Red Devils.
But again, that's a success when they've had their fullbacks, whether it's been Dani Alves for Barca going forward, or Patrice Evra or Valencia as well. I think both fullbacks, sets of fullbacks are trying to get forward to create that space, to create opportunity for someone like Welbeck.
Loose ball in the box. There'll be a goal kick coming out.
He's not convincing, is he, Valdez? The ball comes in there, he looks at the referee, either catch it or punch it. He's going to have someone standing in front of him. He's tried to push him, and as I say, for the goalkeeper, again, doesn't convince me. Doesn't convince me. Welbeck just stands his ground. Good job they don't have to rely on him too much, from my point of view.
You don't have to rely on them too much, but when you need them, you need them.
Correct, Rob. That's a great point, because you do need to have big goalkeepers. United, when they were successful, they had Schmeichel when they had to make big saves. You know, when they won the treble, when they won the FA Cup, the league, and obviously they needed a big moment from your goalkeeper. And I think all great teams have seen it. We've seen Casillas do it for Spain and for Real Madrid, make big saves at vital times. I think that's something that they would be concerned about.
They have the money. They've shown they can splash it around. If you feel you are lacking in just that one position that will upgrade you from Champions League semifinalist to Champions League winner, most people would say, write the check.
Yeah, you can go back to the goal for Torres for Chelsea against Barcelona. You know, it goes down far too easy, but there must be something there. I mean, he's obviously a very good player. The stats speak highly, and he's well liked at the club. And maybe doesn't cause a problem, good professional. But you're right, that next stage, that one to really totally rely on when you need to, that player. They rely on Messi, Iniesta, Xavi. So why not have a goalkeeper that you rely on when called upon? Because that's a key position for me, the goalkeeper.
Did they rely on Messi too much last season? I know they were put in that position because of the injury to Villa, but was it too much on Messi?
Well, I mean, his goal ratio was excellent. We're talking about the goals that he scored, and we showed that, and I think he wants that responsibility. But going back for that, I think Sanchez didn't come in and fill the void from David Villa that he gives you. You know, maybe, again, you look at Messi here, even in a pre-season game, there's 4 Manchester United shirts around him, and that's the same when he plays a league game, a Champions League game, and obviously an international game for his country. So he has to have that responsibility. So they do need other people to stand up, and they've had that in the past, but Iniesta had a few times where he was out in there. Xavi wasn't maybe at the level that he'd be happy with. So I think to answer your question is yes, I think more importantly they relied on him too much because they didn't have David Villa.
Turnover, Messi, out wide, Sanchez. From distance, skies over the bar. Harmless effort.
Not like a Brazilian to miss the target, definitely.
Adriano missing there.
As again, I think United will be quite happy to let the fullback from that distance have a shot. I think they've handled that area reasonably well.
Talked how these teams have made slight, subtle moves. Jordi Alba, not in the starting 11, but available for Barcelona. A big pickup in getting the left fullback. Some feed problems from Sweden. Messi. Still Messi. And Ferdinand there. Young pestered and will earn the kick. Alves the foul.
I think them two have had a good battle. You look at Messi when he drives forward. The best of his generation, we'll speak about it here, but the capabilities, the technique, also the agility that he has. He rides so many tackles for me so well, and the strength for such a small guy.
You and I saw Cristiano Ronaldo in action live Sunday in Vegas for Real Madrid. Who is the better player in your eyes?
The better team player, in my opinion, is Messi. I mean, he has a great team that evolve around him, and I think what Messi does is put the team first. I think whenever you hear an interview, and I think with Ronaldo, what it is, and we see it the other day, and it would frustrate me as a player, an ex-player. It's a little bit the razzmatazz that goes with it. I mean, there's no doubt, and I said about his record, Ronaldo as a player and his capabilities, and he's an icon of his generation. But I think Messi will give himself for the team, for the cause. I think maybe Ronaldo's reluctant to do that. The team have got to give himself to him. And I think that's where Sir Alex Ferguson thought it was good business to let him go. Man United maybe haven't hit the heights of what they had with him, but there's no doubt of Ronaldo as a world-class player. He's definitely him or Messi. People have this question mark, who is the best? In my opinion, it is Messi, because he's more than willing to sacrifice. When you talk about the greats, when you talk about the likes of Pelé and Diego Maradona, as much as they were superb individuals, they did their bit for the team.
Closing minute of the first half. Who's had the better play in your eyes?
Well, I think we've seen Barcelona dominate possession. I think we've seen them have that fluentness. But I think what United have been able to do is maintain that and then be a little bit more bolder in the final third. So I think it's what we expected from both teams, but just that little bit of quality in the final third has been lacking.
Nani. Tripped up, no call, yes. Penalty here in the 45th.
I think the look says it all. He knows exactly. Inexperience. And here with Nani with his ankle. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. The ball's laid in. That's what he does exceedingly well here. And he just lets the ball go, and there's a trailing leg. It's clumsy. It's inexperience. You just got to stay on your feet. As soon as you go to ground there, the body comes through. Nani makes enough, but his standing leg is there.
Foul on Tello. Nani slow to get up. Looks like, reading the nonverbals, Rooney will be taking this penalty kick. Nothing new. Again, finished second in the Premier League to Robin van Persie last season with a career-high 27 goals in 34 games for Wayne Rooney.
And obviously got that goal in the Euro for England. They missed him at the beginning.
1 goal in 2 games at Euro 2012 for Rooney. And here's the English international trying to put his club side up on Barcelona in first half stoppage time. Save! Rebound! Off target.
I said that about Valdez, didn't I?
That's right. Comes up big when he needs to.
Big saves. But again, just not enough conviction on the ball. Goalkeeper does well. Guesses. It's a nice height. It's not in the corner. It's a comfortable save, but that will be disappointing for Rooney as well. The second time, he's just trying to whip that into the corner. Valdez, correct, big save. Maybe it's a 1 for the season for Valdez.
And that is how the first half will conclude. Sir Alex Ferguson with an opportunity to go to the locker room with the lead. But it's that man, Valdez, a huge save in stoppage time, denying Rooney. Barcelona, Manchester United, 0-0 at the break. When we return, first half highlights, and we'll talk the U.S. Olympic women's team. Rooney off target not once, but twice there in the closing minutes of the first 45. Of that one, but plenty of unfinished business here in Gothenburg, Sweden. Barcelona, Manchester United, as the Red Devils preseason tour continues. 0-0 as we get set to kick off second half action. A beautiful evening, really anything in Gothenburg right now. Wonderful scene and conditions for these two world powerhouses as they continue their preparations for the upcoming season. Again, both of these teams finished second place in their domestic league last campaign, and both of them also being eliminated earlier than they wanted to in Champions League play. These type of matches at this juncture, Warren, we usually see a slew of substitutions. Haven't been handed the list yet as to what will be in store, but hopes that that young man will be seeing some playing time. Look to be confirmed. The Japanese international, Shinji Kagawa, doing some warm-ups prior to second half kickoff. And as of now, he has been the big offseason signing for Manchester United. What type of role is he expected to play as the season approaches?
Well, I think it'd be a very instrumental role. I think he's a player we've seen at Borussia Dortmund where they won the league and cups. I think he's very strong on the ball. He's full of confidence. I think he gives them that cutting edge, what maybe they lack, particularly at home against teams. So I think it's a good signing. Only £12 million, which is in this market is maybe a bargain. It's probably what you earn a year, my friend. But it's a shrewd buy because I think he's got quality. There's no doubt. But I'm almost certain there's more to come, and maybe even a bigger name than what we're going to see today. Everything
we've read about Kagawa so far has been very positive. They like his demeanor. They like his presence in the locker room. He's starting to learn more and more English. And clearly, from what we've been reading, the players very impressed as to what he brings to the field as well.
But he's got great technical ability. I think what he is, and when you're at Manchester United, they need someone to retain the ball. They need someone to pass the ball in the final third. But they had Tevez when they was reasonably successful. That type of player that can instrument and get the ball, get in behind. That meaning from midfield to the strike, and I think he does that. Again, people like Michael Carrick coming on, he's vastly experienced, another calming influence. He'll have another big season. People were talking about him maybe being involved for England as well. So they've got enough, Manchester United, to change the game, to have a different dimension as well. But I think what they need to do in this game, more importantly, is pass the ball a lot quicker. I think once they retain it, they're quite slow, pedestrian going forward. And people like Piqué coming on, had a little spell at Manchester United as well, Rob. So I think all now what we're seeing is when players go off, normally you see maybe fringe players. You've got big players coming on now to go in and get a good 45 minutes under their belt.
So we're seeing some of the subs trickle on in there. There's Piqué, and in the background, another one.
Fabregas. I mean, it's amazing when you're
bringing that off the bench.
That off the bench just to maybe give you a little left, and there's Xavi as well. I mean, what a what a player he's been, what an ambassador for the game. Imagine being Manchester United. You think, well, I've just seen off the likes of Iniesta and Messi, and now they've got Xavi to come on, and Victor Valdez made a nice save, but Pinto will come on and come in there and get a run out, which he doesn't normally get.
Manuel Pinto, Spanish player, hard to miss those locks, and there's the Japanese international Kagawa. Welbeck stays on.
Pedro as well. I think, you know, the system will always stay the same. The system, but the personnel can change. But again, you're looking at the quality. We spoke about Piqué, Fabregas, and obviously Pedro on this left-hand side. So they've got enough capabilities to change the format of the game.
Pedro being announced in the background. And Xavi in as well. Sort things out to see who is left and who remains.
It looks like Village has come off as well, and Mickey Carrick will slot in at the back. There's, hopefully just a bit of too much concern with Village going off there.
They had 60 minutes in their last warm-up. Looks to be 45 today.
Obviously Wayne Rooney off as well. A couple of the big hitters have gone off. And unfortunately for Manchester United, about 4 or 5 big hitters for Barca have come on.
Slight difference in depth, said with that. And you need depth to produce at the level that these clubs normally find themselves at through the course of a very long, arduous season.
I think going back to what I was saying earlier with Manchester United, that's why to go and buy an already established player, a big player. You know, Cesc Fabregas went to Barcelona from Arsenal, well established. I think we're talking about players that can go in and just like for like, if not give you a little bit more going forward.
Pedro gets it back. Adriano. Pedro. Touch for Pedro at midfield. Forced back. Mascherano getting it wide right. Xavi. Talked to Real Madrid manager Jose Mourinho the other day, and he said the top teams, be it in England or France or Italy, would do no better than third in Spain behind Real Madrid and Barcelona as Carrick plays that one back. Do you agree with that sentiment?
Well, I think it's hard to argue with the special one in that respect. Would you say La Liga is as strong as the physically demanding as the EPL? Technically, yes, it is. It's stronger, possibly with the Spanish teams that have been successful in the Europa League that we're going to see this season as well. So I think the valid argument of the technical side of the game and the tactical side of the game, but the physical demand that they have, maybe in the Bundesliga and particularly in the EPL, is very demanding for the players.
Driven ball laid off. Kagawa already has 1 goal in the preseason, almost 2. Great save by Pinto.
Good football as well. Like I said with Manchester United, a lot more explosive in the final four, a lot more endeavour going forward. We see here, and then it's a very strong, cuts the ball back. It's a good layoff by Welbeck. Thought he was going to hit it first time. He's just trying to guide it into that net, but the goalkeeper does well, has a good sight of the ball.
First corner of the second half. Short one. Kagawa. Pinto has been awfully active the opening 3 minutes and change, and nice second half start for the Japanese international as he gets that one down the left side.
Yeah, as I said, he's looking busy, he's looking lively, but very positive as well. You know, technically, we know he's going to be very sound, and there's a good eye for a pass.
Again, just 3 preseason goals thus far for the Red Devils. Headed out by PK. Scholes. Evra. Nani. These are confirmed subs right now. That man, Kagawa, in for Rooney. Vidic out for Carrick. So some slight tinkering by Sir Alex.
Yeah, I think what we've seen there is a little bit of cautiousness over Wayne Rooney, obviously been away in the Euros.
Pedro lays it off. Fabregas unable to cleanly control that one. Nani gives it up. Pedro down the left side. Nani, good defense there. Gets it to Valencia. Oh, a little cutback. The midfielder showing where he's comfortable. Turnover, Pedro. Step over, fires over the bar.
I think also as well, just emphasising what the depth that Barcelona have. Like you said there, they take people off, and PK can come in, and Pedro, Iniesta. We spoke about players that have left the field. For Manchester United, they take off Village, and Michael Carrick is a holding and a very good holding midfield player. Has to really fill a void, a bit like Mascherano we're saying there. So they're asking players to play out of position, and these level of players are good enough to do that. But I'm sure someone like Pedro will be looking to get on the ball and cause a few problems.
Phil Jones unavailable for Manchester United today. Some back spasms, sent back home. I think he'll be able to sort that out.
So obviously Messi having a rest as well. I mean, first hand to see him when he was in Miami. I mean, even in an exhibition game and being that close to him and watching him play was mesmerising. His ability to manipulate the ball and just really to take world-class players on and making them look average.
Fabregas trying to cut that one, and De Gea there to scoop it up. Kagawa spins away from danger. A little toe poke there from Anderson.
Good referee in there, just calm down.
Busquets with the foul.
I think if Ashley Young goes down and makes a point of it, he gets carded like Paul Scholes did.
Only card in the game came the 31st, and was to Scholes. He deserved yellow. So stay with United. Carrick, Ferdinand. Rio Ferdinand with an interesting tweet the other day to his Jamaican mate, Usain Bolt, the 25-year-old Jamaican who won the Olympic 100 meters. And Bolt, as Evra rolls, clutching his left thigh.
Yeah, definitely collided, Dani Alves, and whether it was the thigh or the knee into Patrice Evra. But both players' eyes on the ball. But just watch here, look, there's the knee. Goes into his thigh, maybe a dead leg.
With Charlie Horse, yep. Some of the Barcelona stars grab some skin as they walk down. Iniesta, Messi. You go back to Bolt, and Bolt, a lifelong Manchester United fan, and he said his dream is to play for United one day, and Rio said, let me see what I can do. Let me see if I can put in a word. And Wayne Rooney had a comment about it as well, as Messi waves to the fans. And What a remarkable talent on and off the field that young man is. Carries himself so well.
Yeah, very humble. Understands his responsibility as a professional athlete. But going back to Manchester United, it would be very interesting. You see here, we've had players try and train with MLS teams before.
Chad Okocinco,
thank you.
Former wide receiver.
I was just testing you there, see if you can remember. Well done, my friend.
They step over. Kagawa earns the foul. He says, Bolt does, that he's an accomplished soccer player.
Yeah.
I mean, we can all say that, right, Warren, at some point.
At what level?
We've been accomplished at some point in some game, but speed is a wonderful attribute to have, and it is intriguing, and it is enticing just to think about the possibilities of just having a guy that fast on the field. Is it really that beneficial?
Speed is everything in any game, and in most sports as well, predominantly. But you've still, I've heard about...
You have to use it right.
Yeah, you have to use it right, but also, don't forget, we play with a ball. You have to be able to control that and pass the ball as well. Do United need a publicity stunt? No. Does he have to be a player at the highest level? Yes. I would see this being that he would come down and train, and I hope they would do it for charity. But I can't see Sir Alex Ferguson just taking someone on speed alone. There's no doubt about that. But it would be very interesting to see what he would be like playing at Old Trafford and having that. I played in, actually, just reminded me of that, I played in exhibition game out in Barbados with a great cricketer, Brian Lara. Had that opportunity to play against him, and that was interesting to say the least. Was he any good? Yes, he was decent. Could he play for Manchester United? No. It was a pleasure to play against them type of people, but I'm always a believer being master of one sport is just enough.
Well, he's doing just fine in track and field.
Track and field, yeah.
Looking for more medals, too, as the Olympics roll on. Kagawa, toe poke there. PK restarts it. Xavi. Fabregas gets it back, one touch.
This is what I'm saying here, Rob. You know, the personnel changes, but the philosophy doesn't. If you see a shirt, pass it. If you can pass and move, that's what they try and do. If you don't receive the ball within 3 seconds, move. Someone else will come into your space. This is where United have a problem now. They have to go backwards.
Carrick under pressure, unloads. Looking for Welbeck, but it'll go out of bounds.
I think people, when we say that about the possession that they have here, I think Patrice ever looks back to normal now. He looks strong. But we talk about Barcelona, the possession, 60%, 65%, we say that's the normal for Barcelona. But I'd love to see how much they retain the ball when they win the ball back after losing it. It's a matter of seconds. So if they do lose the ball in the final third, they win it back. And more importantly, Rob, they win it back in the final third.
Once he handled that one pretty well. Gives up possession eventually, but closed things down when he had to. I hear the boos for Busquets.
You just keep having one touch. They'll soon get bored of that, the fans booing in one time.
Oh, beautiful one touch there by Scholes. Maybe a handball by Kagawa. He didn't whistle it. Deft little chip. Alves fakes the shot, lays it off. Xavi. Nice cutback on the right. Ben's too strong and too tall. Adriano with the effort there.
Yeah, Adriano in the position. He does like to come in onto his right foot, but he has better options sometimes, you know. When you're driving here, look at the midfield runner. It's just slide it into the pass there for Busquets, but again, both fullbacks pushing on. It must be them boots to be able to do that.
We've talked so many times about these two players getting these two teams getting very integral figures back from injury in their lineups this year. Another one down the road for Barcelona, Eric Abidal, had that liver transplant just back in April. Many folks saying, well, that's a career ender. He joined the team in Paris for their PSG friendly over the weekend. His plans now to return to the team before December.
I mean, that is quite remarkable. And we've said about players and injuries, but, you know, that's a life-threatening concern that he's had, not necessarily just to get back and have a normal life, but to play at the level that he's expected to. One, shows you great character about the man, and also desire, but also the love for the game. You know, rather than it could be quite easy to walk away and say, I've won a lot of trophies, I need to get my life, I need to get that purpose. But I mean, we wish him well, and we've been over the years saying how well he's done, surviving, going through this. We just keep our fingers crossed again, because it puts everything into perspective when you think about the game, but more importantly about his health.
Xavi with the armband right now. Alexis Sanchez cuts it back, easily picked off there. Kagawa getting a lot of touches since coming on at halftime. Bad back ball there, though. Through ball in the box, cut back towards the spot. Fernand able to get some of that. Not the prettiest of clearances, but enough to do the job for the Red Devils.
Yeah, you can see Ashley Young there furious with Patrice Evra for switching off. The little ball sliding in behind. That's where the concentration comes. Pre-season now, players are getting into that hour mark where they've played a little bit of fatigue, and the first thing fatigue goes is...
De Gea with the save, but the flag was up.
Yeah, look at Rio. Rio's saying to him, to Patrice Evra, you've got to stay in your position, you've got to come round. Look at it there. Good call again by the official, and it's Dani Alves pushing up. But that's when you have to be narrow as a back line.
Alves, 5 goals in 55 appearances for the Brazilian national team. Represented them at the 2010 World Cup. Certainly on track to do the same in 2 years in his home country. Here's Scholes. Nani. Kagawa laying it off. But one back by Barcelona. Pinto, who was very busy in the opening stages of the second half. There's that one out wide.
Barcelona now just dominating the game. They've got the feel, they've got a stranglehold on the game. They're playing at their tempo, their rhythm, their movement. It's very difficult for the white shirts of United to get a unit and retain the ball and try and go forward. Welbeck has been very isolated as a striker.
Xavi. Switching things up, Alves. Young on him. Kagawa now for United. Welbeck. Mascherano closing him down. Nani. Not a lot of support there for Nani.
I think when you look at both midfielders, they're very difficult to try and push forward, Scholes and Anderson.
There's the 11 on the field right now for Barcelona. Alves continuing his run. Beautiful ball. Sanchez. Kick save. And Evra's there. You sense something is coming for Barcelona. PK now in the box. Diving header. De Gea is there.
2 good saves by the goalkeeper. One with agility, one with concentration. Again, exquisite movement. Just watch the ball here. Outside the foot. There's that area behind Patrice Evra. He looks tired, but he just stands big. Says to Sanchez, beat me. Again with the header here.
There's Pedro.
Great agility here. Moves his feet quickly and a good outstanding save.
PK. Slight slip. Alves. I think he's trying to get that one to kind of kick back on the chip.
Well, he changed his mind as well. Good to see PK pushing forward. Again, just watch him here. He move his feet, he's going one way. Again, pushes off. Outstanding save. May have just been going wide, but still the concentration's there.
Young looking for Nani, intercepted. Portuguese international took a little bump. Quick restart for United. Oh, nice move, Valencia. Kagawa.
Oof. Just a bit heavy with his layoff there. Actually, Young just wanted from Kagawa, just a little bit softer with his layoff.
Some young subs for Barcelona.
And that's all you need, Rob, when you're getting a little bit tired in the pre-season, going some young, enthusiastic players looking to make a point against you. It's like Berbatov as well coming on.
Many surprised Berbatov still sports a Manchester United kit right now. Talks during the season that he was on his way to Germany. Evra slides that one out of danger. Maybe talk that he'll join QPR. And there's Jordi Alba set to come on, number 18. Big pickup for Barcelona.
Exceptional in the World Cup.
Sergio Roberto, number 30, also set to get on. Mascherano is done. Marc Bartra, number 15, on. And Sergio Roberto, Spanish youngster, 4 appearances in all competitions last season. We are getting bombarded by subs right now. Berbatov on the field now for Manchester United. There he is. Interesting to see how much longer he is with them. You figure they can't do a whole lot with him until they sort out their whole Van Persie situation.
And also with Michael Owen going, both of them players with Berbatov, Welbeck gone off now. So it'll be a different type of style of football for Manchester United. They've got to go into Berbatov feet because he's not going to run in behind like Welbeck would do. But yes, until they sort the situation up, he's going to have to just sit tight. He'll be very frustrated because his record as a goal scorer has been good. What credit to him though, he's not ever come out publicly and criticised the club or so Alex Ferguson. He must be frustrated because he's a good player. He's a top player that should be playing. But it hasn't, for whatever reason, been whether his style of football or his manner at the club that's really worked out for him. But he's kept his dignity.
Your forwards at the current time for Manchester United right now: Berbatov, Rooney, Chicharito, Welbeck, and Makeda, the young Italian international.
But you would, and emphasise, just say really, Hernandez, Rooney, and Welbeck is your strike force.
Nani bumped off the ball. He already earned 1 penalty kick. Won't get one here. And a quick break here. Barcelona streaking down the right side.
You can just tell now the game's gone up a gear.
Xavi whacked by Scholes.
Again, no need to take that chance. Good pressure again. Good touch. I think there, he just slides. He just loses footing for me. We're talking about the first one. There was a bit of contact for there. There, the left foot just slides underneath. Pinto, the goalkeeper, doesn't need to take a chance.
Xavi sitting over this one. Anderson trying to get that one to Cole, or Young. Kagawa. And an off-the-ball foul there. Nani tripping up his man as he tried to make his move. So the old double yellow in the 70th.
There's no doubt the counter-attack was on. Just watch at the bottom of the screen here. He knows he's going to get away from him. So he pulls him back, Busquets, and then that little trip there. Busquets gets... It's not like Busquets to roll around 15 times either, is it, when he gets touched? But he knew Nani was away. Ferguson, that's why he's frustrated. Nani was off and Busquets takes one for the team, and then he rolls around after getting a touch on the ankle.
A great shot there, Sir Alex Ferguson. So many times, it doesn't matter the sport, but really the country, your club, is a stretch of who your manager is. Mm-hmm. And the fact that Sir Alex Ferguson is up off the bench, in coat and tie, furious in a preseason match, translates to his players at some point in some fashion.
Well, that's why they've always been winners. They've always had that edge about them. You go back to the players of Brian Robson and Scholes we spoke about. They've always had that edge, that winning mentality, us against the rest of the world. And I think teams emulate their coach. And I think that's what you've seen with Sir Alex Ferguson. When he's had to get rid of his old favourites, he will get rid of them and sell them if he has to. Because the most important thing for Sir Alex Ferguson is winning. And that's what he does as good as anybody. Probably one of the most, if not the most successful coach ever to manage the game.
It's interesting, too, is nobody has said he's starting to lose it. He's starting to slip. When you see somebody who's been around there that long, if you see just a slight little chink in the armor, someone is there to pounce on it, and not too many folks have been brave enough or unwise enough to go after Sir Alex.
Well, there was a few years ago with Mourinho being so successful, and people were starting to question, is Sir Alex now, is it time for him to move off? They go and win the title again. You know, what he's been able to do, his generation, is move a generation of players through, but still be successful, still have that mentality. You know, going back to when they first started winning the EPL in the 90s, that generation would wear you down. They're physically, they're strong. And then he brought in the Beckham, the Scholes, the Giggs, the Nevilles. These players all come through. Now again, he evolved with his team.
Alba. Ronnie losing that one. It'll stay, though, with United. Through looking at what Manchester United has right now, do they need, not a question of want, but do they need Robin van Persie to do what they want to do in the Premiership and the Champions League?
From what I've seen so far on their tour, yes. They need a spark. They are going to come good, there's no doubt. They are going to have that time, but they need a wake-up call to wake everybody else up. They need someone to say they're back in business. They are going to be the benchmark. We are going to compete at the highest level. They will do, there's no doubt. But people will doubt them. People will have that little seed of doubt and not have that fear factor against them as they have done over recent seasons. I think now people go into games believing that they might get something out of the game. Patrice Evra, not at the level we've seen. Rio Ferdinand, not the player that we've come to accustomed to, had one or two injuries. Village has been out of the game. Then you look at the front line, like you said there. Welbeck, good player, but still obviously learning his trade. Hernandez has done well when he first had the impact. Last season, slightly disappointing. Rooney, can he burden all the responsibilities? They need a big star next to him, and I think that would send a signal out not only what's going to happen in the EPL, but also in Europe. And I think Sir Alex knows that. That's why he will try hard to get a big one in.
Key departures for United. Park Ji-sung, Michael Owen, and Fabio out on loan. Here's Barcelona trying to get the game's first goal. Scoreless, 74th minute. Rooney and Messi both on the bench after going the opening 45. Anderson unable to connect. Busquets lays it out wide. Rio Ferdinand reads it well. Ferdinand not included on the England roster for the Euros. Scholes chipping that one up. PK, second half sub, trying to find it. Xavi. Affalay lays it off. Alba playing it back. Alba expected to pretty much step into that left fullback spot for Barcelona.
Well, it's quite amazing, Rob, as well. In the Euros, people was talking about it, and we did it on Fox here, saying about that Spain, you know, not having that striker, not really having that final product, and then you see what they did to Italy in the final. And I see that same response from Barca. I think their pride has been hurt, and people are starting to question them. Well, you know, they haven't won a trophy. Have they still got that? And I think I see that in their eyes. I see it in the players' mentality. They don't want to come second best. And I think, you know, we see the response that Spain have had. And with the additions that they've made, the players they've got back, we said with Barcelona, it'll be very difficult, if not to say that we're back at Wembley in the Champions League final, looking to retain that trophy and win it.
Final 15 minutes from Sweden. If this one ends up tied, we will go immediately to penalty kicks. Long-range effort. De Gea watches that one scoot wide. Affalay with the attempt.
Again, passing and movement, looking to drive in on the right-hand side with his right foot. Coming, but I think De Gea will be comfortable. I think Manchester United will be backline. Lens will be looking. You can tell who's gone off now with Pedro.
Busquets done.
So Busquets coming off with all the boos that he's had.
Sanchez in. Affalay swinging things. Manchester United looking at perhaps their second straight scoreless preseason match.
I'm not sure if Sir Alex will be too concerned about not scoring the goals. I think what he's looking at his team is, at this part, and any coach is really looking at the fitness, cohesion in the team, the understanding with one or two new players. I think that was more of a concern than actually not scoring the goals. And I think that's where Sir Alex will look and say, goals will come. Manchester United will always score goals, but I haven't seen that fluentness that we've come to expect going forward. Yes, you're playing against one of arguably the best teams in the world, but there's been periods where they've given the ball away and haven't been adventurous going forward.
Xavi, 78th minute corner kick bouncing in the box. Affalay sends it back in, harmless ball. David De Gea looked like he may go the full 90 here. Messi, who was subbed out at the break, went the full 90 in their last preseason match. Now we feel a player to do that. There's the new manager for Barcelona, Tito Villanova. Anderson checking out now for United. Nick Powell comes on.
All the way from sunny Crewe Alexandra. What a step up that is against
Huge.
Barcelona. But very talented young player. Dario Grali has done an excellent job at Crewe, bringing these young players through time and time again.
Yeah, moved from League One's Crewe Alexandra this summer, a midfielder who's kind of morphed into a forward type player.
I love the press conference with Sir Alex. You know, they asked the question, where do you like to play? And he said, that number 10 in and around. The next question was Sir Alex. He said, I see him as a midfielder. So no matter where you want to play, where you want to play, son, this is where you're going to play. But great for younger players. You know, we see all these million-dollar players moving, but to see someone homegrown and have that opportunity. Okay, with the intent.
Well, you need to do that.
Yes.
At any level, at any sport. You can't always just sit out there and dole out the euros or the francs or the dollars or whatever it is, the pounds. You have to find some young, affordable talent and bank on them to be bankable down the road.
And Rob, only as a young player, you're going to get better. He's playing. He's actually playing the game. There's no point just sitting in the reserves or sitting in the youth team and not having that opportunity. That's where, you know, at the MLS, I think the younger players have, you know, it's great to have these superstars that come into the league, but the league's strong enough now. And I think where you're looking now as a coach is to bring young quality. Look at what Manchester United did with them young fledglings that have come through, these younger players. And Piqué was another one at Barcelona. He had to leave, and he's come back. Cesc Fabregas did the same. You have to go and play and establish yourself as a player.
So much about this sport is managing the books as well, and you can't just be splashing out the dollars that PSG is doing on a regular basis. Break here for Barcelona. A little toe poke by Carrick.
Mickey Carrick looking at every part of the centre. But going back to that, PSG and Manchester City, Manchester City had a fantastic youth policy, but maybe not at the level that Mancini wanted. They have to go and buy, like Chelsea did, buy a little bit of success. Then you can bring the young players through, go around the globe and start generating this academy that they have. Manchester United have done this over generations and built their players, as in Barcelona, with these type of players, the type of Pedro coming forward. But again, great defensive qualities there from Mickey Carrick.
Valencia earning the corner kick for United, taken short. Here is Valencia. He and Nani working that right side. Just going back quickly to that financial conversation, you also have to be shrewd with your money so you are in a position to be able to splash big-time money when it's necessary and when that opportunity is there, because there's not always that player that you need, that you want that much. And right now, looking at the books for what Manchester United has, you have to think they've got enough. They always have enough, but they've got enough to make it financially sensible to make that move for Van Persie.
Also as well, Rob, these type of clubs, there's only a certain pool of players that they're going to go and buy. You know, if you're a mid-table team, you've got a bigger pool to go and look for, because you can go and get, if you like, journeymen, players that are looking to emulate young players that have got potential. But these type of clubs need to either have young players that are going to bring through or the finished article. There's no in-between. There's no grey areas. You either buy a young prospect or you buy the real McCoy, the real deal. And I think that's what Sir Alex will try and do. He will try and go for, say, look, I've had one or two younger players that I've had that do well, but now I want to make a statement. Mickey's done well, Rio Ferdinand. I think he's a lot of last season he was same with injuries. He still played a lot of games, Big Rio. I think he's again have that hunger and desire to come through and to be a figure. There's no doubt he was very, very upset not being involved in the Euros. Still felt he had the capabilities to do well.
Scott Wooten, young English youngster, made a total of 24 appearances in the championship last season through a couple loan spells, including time with Peterborough United and Nottingham Forest.
One of the managers at Peterborough was Sir Alex's son as well, Darren Ferguson. So it's about helping your son out, as we all would do, I'm sure.
Most days. Wayne Rooney with the penalty kick in the closing stages of the first half, denied by Victor Valdez. That's why we're still at zeros. If you had to rate who was the stronger team in this preseason game, we'd have to give the nod, I think, to Barcelona right now in the 84th.
I think great credit to the players that are still on there, the likes of Paul Scholes that have played, Patrice Evra, but you know, looking at Young and Nani, I think by and large though as well, Rob, it's because they haven't got players to bring on. They're playing Barcelona. I'm looking at their roster here. There's not a player that Barcelona have got. So that's why when they took off these players, you know, you're talking about Iniesta and obviously Messi, these type of world-class players, the quality hasn't really dropped for Barcelona. But I think United, if they took off 4 of their players, they would find it hard throwing some of the kids on in this type of level. It's okay against lesser teams and you want to maybe have that 10, 15 minutes, but I think that's why we're seeing a lot of the players play a lot of football.
PK, 85th minute. Fabregas. Get that one out wide. Alba, their new signing, drives that one in. Dangerous ball in the box. Young comes back for United. Carrick finds Valencia. Berbatov has done little to nothing since coming on here in the second half.
I mean, as well, Rob, you've got to play to his strength. He's not going to run in behind. He's not a well-back. You've got to try and get it into his feet so he can try and bring players through. But the problem that they've had, Manchester United, when it does maybe go into Berbatov, Scholes and Anderson was too fatigued to run forward. You know, Paul's getting a lot older, as we all are, and Anderson's not that type of player to push forward. So Berbatov is a lonely figure up there, and he's never going to run in behind and cause you a problem. He's going to be one of these players that will hold the ball up. And that's maybe why you need like Young and Nani to get a little bit closer, and that's why I'm quite surprised maybe he hasn't maybe changed it a little bit. Sir Alex and gone 3 in midfield and pushed his wide players a little bit closer. But then you run the risk of being isolated in your fullback area. So there's a conservative approach at the moment for Manchester United.
Evra back to his keeper. Valencia. Little scoop move. Takes a bump, earns the whistle.
Well, he's done well, Valencia. I think really he's looked strong. Nice trickery here. He's got a bit of confidence about him.
Ecuadorian international, 16 goals in 107 games in all competitions since joining Manchester United from Wigan back in June of '09.
There's quite a lot of eyebrows raised when he first went. You know, we'd said that from Wigan he'd done well, but we was expecting everybody in the EPL from him maybe to take a step up to if you like an Everton or a Tottenham, do well, and then maybe go to United. But Sir Alex has done great business again, getting someone on a cheaper price.
4 goals, 13 assists last season. Those 13 assists tied for second most in the Premiership. Evra, nice header to stifle that attack.
Just as I said, he's done well. He steps over and gives the ball away.
Fabregas. Xavi in the box. This one over his head.
I think they'll be quite happy, Manchester United, dealing with balls like that from Pedro in front of them. They can head it away. It's when they start playing the intricate passing, the passing and movement, where they really pull you around.
Alba. Right back down the middle. Fabregas. Affalay. Nice run. Alba keeps it in. Closed down. Valencia. Poor ball in the box. Barcelona trying to make him pay, and Evra's there. Not the place to get cute.
Just looking at Manchester United now, Rob, I think they're quite happy to go to PKs. I think they've run out of ideas, they've run out of legs as well. I think they just hang on now, and if they can see this through, they'll take their chances.
Valencia lofts it. Nani.
That was nice. Enjoy that.
Berbatov. There's Carrick. Kagawa. And a free kick here is Nani sent to the turf. Fabregas pleading his case. Late stages of a scoreless affair from Gothenburg, Sweden. Two minutes of extra time added to the referee's watch. Here's Nani. Not a sharp ball there.
No, as you see there, just a bit lazy, as we said, with fatigue. That's where a concern for me, Manchester United, just in that final third, to have the endeavour to go forward, and it's been quite comfortable for Barca's back line. The PK missed just before half-time for Wayne Rooney, really disappointing, but they haven't really created too many opportunities.
Valencia and Nani both seem very comfortable playing this close to each other, working that right side.
It's always good when you get a good understanding. United had that with Neville and Beckham, that Gary Neville pushed forward, Beckham would maybe tuck round, or if he went forward, David would find him with a pass. And I think if you can get that understanding, that little unit, whether it's on the wide areas, full-back and wide players, centre midfield, we know how important it is centre D to have Ferdinand and Village. If you have them little components that you've got organised and disciplined, when you know where you're going, if you can get maybe 4 or 5 of them together, you've got a chance to be very, very strong domestically.
Should be less than 30 seconds left in regulation here. Maybe the last chance. Alba. Affalay. And that is it. So another scoreless outing for Manchester United, but penalty kicks still loom, as we will have a winner in this preseason friendly. Kagawa, knowing perhaps his day isn't done yet. End of regulation. Barcelona 0, Manchester United 0. Both teams, at least for now, from what we can tell, coming out injury-free, which is one of the big components of matches like this. Also gaining a ton of experience playing top-flight competition before it really matters.
Yeah, I think both coaches will look around and be satisfied in respect of no injuries. A couple of concerns that it could have been played, a little bit more chances created, but like you said, no injuries, getting some minutes under your belt, all part of the pre-season, all part of the bigger picture, which is at the start of the season coming up.
Now, if you're Manchester United, what do you take away from that 90-minute outing?
Well, I think you can show that you can defend. I think you looked at Valencia, I thought he had a good game, and looked at Nani as well. He was quite instrumental going forward. I would be concerned in the final third, the number of opportunities he created. We know against a very strong Barca team, but Barcelona dominated the game. They had the possession, as you would rightly estimate that they would do. But I think for United's point of view, it could have been a lot better. 60%, I'm quite happy with that, but there's a lot more improvement if they're going to try and emulate what they do. But it is pre-season. Barcelona, a world-class team, they dominated possession. They could have been a bit more clinical in front of goal, but I think at the end of it, you look around and say, Wayne Rooney, 1-0. I think Barcelona would have stepped the gas up and maybe got a goal back. 45
minutes for Wayne Rooney. Again, just 3 goals in pre-season for Manchester United. And I hate to make too much of it because I do understand it is pre-season, your stars aren't going the full 90, but at some point, if that continues and they have one more left with Hanover, you're going to start saying to yourself, maybe we really do need Robin van Persie more than we already think we need him.
Rob, that is a valid point. There's no doubt. You know, scoring goals pre-season is part of the game. It's part for strikers. It's goalkeepers keeping clean sheet, defenders being strong. You're paid to score goals. And Manchester United are in the world are not only winning, but winning with style and scoring goals. And even if it is pre-season and we're trying to find the right formula, if someone is not scoring goals, go out and get someone that will do. If you keep conceding goals, you're going to go and get a goalkeeper or a centre D to stop that, because winning is a habit, scoring goals is a habit. And I think what, you know, maybe emphasise a little bit more, and maybe for Sir Alex to go to the owners and say, you know what, we do need to go, and you've got to give me the money, because we do need to, because this is not good enough for Manchester United.
They're not there yet, though? But they're getting close in your eyes to saying that?
Yeah, I think every time there is a stalemate, you have a valid point. And, you know, the people will say, well, he's, you know, coming to the year of his contract, why don't we wait until... No, you need a good start. You don't want to be playing catch-up, because that's what they had to do with City. And, yeah, they nearly got there, and they nearly pushed it all the way. But as I keep emphasising, they've always gone big at the right time, whether it's Man United, Barcelona, all of these top teams at the right time. There's 5 or 6 of them in the world. Go and spend big at the right time to strengthen and to give that feel-good factor going into a new season. Because believe me, Rob, there'll still be hangovers from last season, how they lost it. They still have that in their mind.
You get the sense, looking at some of the expressions of the players you saw, Xavi heading over to the official for the coin toss, and they're kind of looking at each other saying, really, we can't get into the showers yet? we have to do more here? It's preseason. We really need a winner and a loser here on penalties, but again, it's another opportunity to put your players in a quote-unquote pressure situation and see how they respond.
You can't emulate this. You can't do this on a training ground. You have to be in a stadium with fans here.
Nani versus Pinto. A stutter step burns Nani.
Yeah, just leaning back there. You don't need the goal line technology to say that that didn't clear the line.
And again, goal line technology coming to the Premiership this season. And not a moment too soon.
I was going to say, my friend, you just took the words.
You know where I stand on that one.
No.
So Xavi up first. According to the rules, there will only be 3 penalties taken per team, and Xavi buries that one.
Good run up. Again, passes it in the net. Again, focused. The Hayes is the right way, but just too much accuracy. Just in that corner.
Ashley Young.
Obviously, you remember the Euros.
And Olympics.
And it can keep going on and on if you're an Englishman.
Nice save. Pinto. And a goal here, and the night is done.
I think the look says it all. Goalkeeper guesses right. Footed player, predominantly 60% always go to the goalkeeper's right.
PK will step up.
At his time at Manchester United, didn't work out for him. Maybe one of only the mistakes that Sir Alex has done, letting players go.
And Barcelona takes it.
Just need to be a bit more relaxed, PK, when he takes it. He takes it a little bit too serious, but yeah, very nonchalant, very confident. And it's a nice feeling to win. They're totally dominant. The best team have won the game. We can talk back about Wayne Rooney having that opportunity.
So Gerard Piqué, the winning Piqué right there. From the spot, Xavi and Piqué convert. Nani, Ashley Young denied. And Barcelona takes this one on penalties. Rob Stone, Warren Barton back here with you as our coverage continues from Sweden. We talked about what Manchester United takes away and maybe the question that they still have, are they going to get enough goals? from the current crop of players they have. If you're Barcelona, again, they've done very little to add to their team. Jordi Alba, the significant addition. Where do they sit right now as they approach La Liga?
I think they're in a very good position. As I said, looking at the team, looking at the coach as well. He want to have a good start, want to have a positive start. Not winning a trophy has not been in their nature in the last probably 4 or 5 years. So they were very, very much determined to win a trophy. You could see it in Messi's eye, his approach. You know, Iniesta, Xavi, they've got enough capability. They've got key players coming back from long-term injuries. They just needed fine-tuning. I think Manchester United need 1 or 2. Barcelona just 1 or 2 players just to really lift everybody with the young players coming through.
Still plenty of time left in the transfer window, and we always know things get interesting near the tail end of things like that. We expect plenty of news on FoxSoccer.com as who's going where and why and what rumor. It's always fun to chase how that goes down. Warren, I'll be back to wrap things up. Barcelona takes care of Manchester United via penalty kicks from Sweden. Here's PK with the winner.